The sci-fi anime, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, did something unexpected with the narrative of their first 14-episode series. How did this lead to an anonymous poster on 4chan being credited in a scientific journal? I'll read that again. The sci-fi anime, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, did something unexpected with the narrative of their first 14-episode series. How did this lead to an anonymous poster on 4chan being credited in a scientific journal?
I've got to sit out this one as well. Sorry, folks.
Wow.
These are stories I know. I'm sorry.
It's a good one. Wow. I really like this one. I'll say I'm going to assuage everyone's fears that this has nothing to do with any of the bad parts of 4chan. It could have been any message board. I'll say right off the bat.
Okay. That is helpful. I guess my first thought goes to like the first 14 episodes did some kind of code, and then someone on 4chan broke that code.
That's not exactly right, but you're thinking definitely in the right headspace. Ooh. Yeah. What could that have been if not a code? What could have happened in those episodes?
Something that was like good enough to so someone solved something or it solved the right route here. They solved something that those episodes did, and then that was credited in a scientific paper. But whatever that is, it has to be significant enough to be in a paper.
Yeah. It involves a little bit more of the creativity of the people watching it. Had sort of like a what if that was inspired by the show, I would say. But you're on the right track of like thinking like how what could a series do that would be weird? Because it's to do with the show, how a show can be. I'm so excited with this. I just want to tell you guys, but I can't. You guys have got this.
It feels like, because there feels like several stages that we have to go through here. I literally had to write down the chain of things that happened. So there's an anime which has 14 episodes, and then they do something weird with those 14 episodes.
Yeah.
And then 4chan message board people figure something out about it, and then that leads to a scientific journal. So what's exactly weird about the 14 episodes? So is it like it appears normal for like the first 10 episodes and then all of a sudden something changes in it, or is it weird all the way through is my first question.
That's you're on the right track. I'll say it's I know because in researching this question, I had one of my good anime friends info dump about the show for 40 minutes so I could be properly prepared for this question and not lose cred. So I will say it's weird from the get-go. It's weird immediately from episode 1. Famously.
Oh, yeah, that's important actually, isn't it? That is important.
Yeah.
Is it the colors? Is there something to do with like it says some kind of color theory thing going on?
Ooh.
No, that's a good guess though.
Is it anything to do with maths?
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna guess psychology. Maths sucks.
But
no, we like maths now, Caroline. We've done maths topics on the show.
I think the phenomena that happens, I think, doesn't require math to understand. It just can lead to mathematics as you think about it.
Is it like that Simpsons thing where people think that the Simpsons predicted a certain mathematical equation? There was like there were actual like unsolved maths problems in the show that were like spread out throughout the narrative, and then people figured them out somehow.
Yeah. One character's like, and this is just something I've been thinking about, the Riemann hypothesis. I don't know. No, I think Caroline's more on the money with the sort of like the episodes are weird and how the show progresses, I think is a good thing. A way to think about like what would be a weird way to air a TV show, I suppose. Something strange. That's a good guess, Caroline. You're warmer with that. You're really warm.
It's aired out of order, so it's like in different sequences, and they've figured out the sequence of the show on 4chan. Is that right?
Yes.
Or they're trying to.
Like maybe, I don't know if it's like, maybe individual scenes are out of order. I can't, unless it's like second.
No, Ella, you are exactly right.
Full episodes.
The full episodes are out of order.
And then does it tell a different story if you put it together in a different sequence? Or is it trying to tell one story and the writers are trying to tell one story and you have to figure out the right order?
That doesn't seem like 14 episodes. Doesn't seem that hard to, mathematically figure out. So I feel like that's
sorry. Let me confirm what is correct. Because you guys you might even get the math part right. So yes, the episodes are aired purposefully out of order. This is divisive. Some people are like, wow, it's so cool because it makes you like rethink and you have to figure out the puzzle. Other people are like, just watch it in chronological order. There's a main constituency of people that are like, why? Because the source material that it's based on is not out of order. They just decided to do this. Some people think they did it because they were like, oh, we'll spice it up, just scramble the order. Anyway, there are debates about what were you saying, Ella? About sort of like the
order that it's supposed. Is there a debate about the order it's supposed to go in?
Yes, I'll say there's
the maths part like they've calculated the number of how many possible ways the show could be in order. The episodes could be in order.
You are exactly right. This is known.
How does that then lead to a scientific journal?
Well, if you turn this from a nerd anime discussion to instead a discussion on super permutations, then it suddenly is. So basically, what had started to happen is people were like, you should just watch it in chronological order. Some people were like, no, you should watch it in the airing order. Some people said, start with this one and then watch in chronological order, which led to the sort of what if question, how many different ways are there to watch it, and specifically how long would it take to watch every permutation, which is what a super permutation is a list of all the permutations.
And more than that, I'm going to chime in here. It's the shortest possible way to watch all possible orders. So that doesn't mean like you watch 1, 2, 3, then 1, 3, 2. It is the shortest possible string that contains all the orders, even if those orders overlap.
Oh.
So, for example, if you want to watch it forward and back, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 13, 12, 11, 12, because it overlaps. And so you can have a technically shorter runtime. The shortest current lower bound is 93,884,313,611 episodes, or roughly 4.3 million years to watch.
And that's just the lower bound. They don't know what it could actually be. They just know it's somewhere around there.
And if there's anyone who can do it, it's the good people on 4chan.
I remember the story as someone just posting that as a question and some discussion happening, and then some mathematician coming along and going, hold on, I'm pretty sure that someone discovered some new maths in this thread and hasn't realized it.
Wow.
Yeah, they basically, in classic, honestly, this happens all the time in math history. Someone basically was like, here's the answer, and they posted a formula. And then years later, they looked back, like mathematicians looked back and they're like, wait, they're right. Wait, but again, it's like an anonymous post with no work shown. They're like, wait, what? How did you? And then turned it into a paper and credited this anonymous person.
The Lateral Producers Club is at lateralcast.com if you would like more Lateral, fewer adverts, and to support the show.